yo. Take that down a little bit. But yeah. Yeah. Weirdo. We're going to take a break off the music real quick. Check out this. This is... all over the place, y'all. Get that back out. Back out. Here we go. I'm still there. All right, cool. So... this is San Francisco lawmakers vote to create repatriation fund for Black residents without initial funding. That's what's going on up in Cali. And if y'all don't know, if y'all ain't seen yet, I put a nice short out with some nice information about the name California. If you didn't know, the original name of California is Khalifa, was a Black indigenous woman. A warrior at that. Stories that I read online are significantly. She didn't play no games. That's for sure. That's why it's still named after her. But just not talked about knowingly in schools and not publicized, not on the flag, stuff like that. Which it should be. She should be all over the place. So I wanted to make that known, make this episode right here mainly about the indigenous woman, on pretty much how that legacy has been shunned, based on facts, religion. Religion has taken the woman's position down a big peg. Before there was any cross put up, you had the Ankh, and the Ankh represents the man and the woman. It was an even statue, and I'll give a better showing of that. Give me 1 sec. I will pull that up real quick as well. As I'm talking, I'm showing. You dig? I can find it. See what I'm looking for. Did I get that one? Let's see. Got that one. So where's the one before that? Okay, Okay, so I didn't do that one. Okay, hold on. We're gonna get that one on the. So that one was. A second. For some reason, don't look like I didn't put that one, but I sent it to myself. So I'll get that one. Let's play the video for this right here, and then I will be right back and I'll get that moving. So hold on one second. All right, here we go. I'm gonna get past that ad. And then we're gonna go. Let's see why it's on. Let's see. Okay, so I gotta turn on the volume.
Friends for life. And how much more is that?
Oh, it's all included at Warby Parker.
So my glasses
Are still just $95.
Oh.
Surprise!
All right, so here we go.
I just get excited.
And coming up. I mean, going away. I mean, not coming up, but yeah.
We'll move now to a story we've been following for several years. Reparations for Black San Franciscans are back on the table.
And today, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors passed a measure that would create a fund designed to help Black people who have been harmed by past city laws, including redlining from the 1950s through the 70s.
ABC 7 News political reporter Monica Madden is digging into the story for us. Monica, how much money would be added into this fund?
Dan and Alma, that's the kicker here. As things stand right now, the city is not appropriating a cent towards this reparations fund that might have made it easier to get the board's full support when the city is in a financial deficit. But supporters say at the least, this sets up the framework for actual funding in the future.
I think it means repair.
As a descendant of slaves, James Taylor has long advocated for reparations.
My own hands have touched my grandfather's hands, and my grandfather touched his grandfather's hands, and that was a slave. So think about how recent that is, and how economically the empty hands of my grandfather left me with nothing, because the empty hand of his grandfather, who started in slavery, left him nothing.
Taylor says he's pleased San Francisco is revisiting the issue after the city rejected a controversial proposal to pay a lump sum of $5 million to qualifying Black residents in 2023.
This most certainly is different than asking the city to pony up dollars to support reparations recommendations.
Supervisor Shaman Walton's ordinance merely sets up the fund to receive money either appropriated by the city or privately donated.
It's going to take some time. We got to build a pot and then, of course, come up with the criteria in terms of how we're going to prioritize what recommendations we address first. But this is a major first step.
Some of the city's previous recommendations for Black reparations range from assistance with down payments for buying a house, improved access to education, and cash payments.
Redlining, making us pay taxes for education where our children couldn't go to those certain schools, pushing us out, gentrification. There's so many things that have been done to us systemically, and we have seen populations, we have seen races, we have seen ethnicities receive reparations. But we have not seen that for the Black population.
If funded, San Francisco would be one of the first major U.S. cities to actively offer reparations for Black residents.
So who would be eligible? Black San Franciscans who can prove that they were harmed by past discriminatory city policies or prove lineage tied to slavery in the U.S. could tap into this fund once there's money. And worth noting, though, part of the pushback in the past was the cost, with San Francisco's repeated budget shortfall in recent years.
That's crazy, yo. Hold on. That's crazy that, just like he said, every other race particularly was taken care of. You know what I'm saying? And that's funny because when you break it down, when you really break it down, you know, every other race, let me show you, was considered one. So technically, when the repatriation went out for all the Native Americans, we should have been a part of it. When the repatriation went out to the Jews, so-called Jews, who dealt with the Holocaust, yeah, we should have been a part of it. Any race out there who've gotten reparations for, you have to believe even, let me do my facts, but let me show you all this. Let me share my screen real quick. Guess I gotta get that open. Let me get that back open. Hold on a sec, y'all. Bear with me a quick sec. So, here we go. Okay. So, let's finish. I was muted, but okay. So let's go ahead and close that out. I was trying to share what I had. It's acting real slow with me right now, so I'm trying to engage, but also engage with that. Sometimes do two things at once. Sometimes just don't work right. All right. So let's see. Okay, let me see if that shows. That's showing. Let me see. So let me go back. All right, so maybe window. Next up tab. So window. Download that. Okay. So then if I can see that, how come I can't see my other stuff? There we go. Now it shows up. Okay, so you see, this is they did exist. We just don't know their history because it was never taught to us. But you have the right to research the knowledge for yourself. This is out there, people. And it's not taught in schools. That's the sucky part. The sucky part that is not taught in schools. This information, right? Like me personally, I had to do my research in school, and this was late high school. My last probably year or two that I really wanted to learn more about my history, my ancestors, those who came before me, the history that I wasn't even catching up on in school. Like it was just passed up. It was just like they were just keep recycling different presidents, this and this and this. There was nothing for any information that I felt like was needed. So that discouraged me being in my last few years of high school. And it is what it is, you know, that, but seeing this information right here and knowing that that's the reason why I say knowledge is power. Because if you don't know and you go on life thinking, you know, we were slaves, and you stay in a slave mentality, you stay in a real victimized situation, you know, like that's serious. So definitely I'm gonna send out something like this so that way I can motivate the people, you know, all my subscribers. And thank you for all the 181 subscribers out there. You know, I appreciate y'all. Y'all doing me well justice. So I thank you for that. And yeah, this is another time that we're gonna get it in. So that being said, I want to also show you all this right here. See, I just put this short out. Okay, just put this short right out. Real deal. California is named after a black queen named Khalifa. His whole state should be named Khalifa. So get it, the reason why Wiz Khalifa named himself his name. And I don't even think he's from California. But in honor of his ancestors, maybe that was his reason. I don't know. I ain't really dug up on his name like that, but that just came to me. You know what I mean? So, you know, had to get that out. But definitely the features, you can tell she was a sister for sure. Beautiful with that for sure. Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, known as a warrior. She didn't play no games. I'm pretty sure if you was a step to her, if you was a dude trying to step to her, you know, in that day and age, you definitely had to be on your A game. Okay, definitely had to be on your A game. If you wasn't, you know, she'll let you know, just like any sister would nowadays, you know. But just, you know, yeah, I know times was different back then. We was dealing with different issues. We was dealing with a lot of reverse psychology, as you would see now, as you would see the so-called immigrants. It'd be flip-flop. It'd be like a flip-flop. So just think of, you know, what's the opposite of black, you know? And then there you go. That's the answer. That was the differentiations of those times then and what we had to fight against. And we still on the same situation. But it's not really, to me, it's never really been a color thing. It's more of a knowledge thing. Like they said, knowledge is power. And without that, what do you have? You know, because you definitely can't leave this world with the money. You can have billions and trillions of whatever dollars in your pocket, but guess what? You ain't leaving with it. When you gone, you gone. So if you have a full house of nothing but material and your brain is empty and you pass, everybody's getting all your material gain. It's going to somebody. I don't know who it's going to, who you got it going to, but it's going to somebody. But the knowledge that you pack in here, I think that's the real challenge for all of us in life, is to figuring out how to keep that knowledge to the next chapter. Because we all know, those who do, I'm not gonna say we all know, because not everybody knows. But those who do know, you leave, when you pass on, you go to that next chapter. That you still, whatever book you might go to a whole different book. You might stay in that same book and just go to a different chapter. And I kind of would explain the books being different planes, different dimensions, different universes. You know, what universe we're on here, you may go to another realm. You may be 10 universes away. I mean, they say that there's over, 200 or 300 solar systems. I don't know. Let me get the breakdown on that. I always want to be able to, if I'm gonna say something, I want to be able to show facts on that. And since we're here, let's get the facts on that. So let's see, how many universes do we have? Well, how many known universes? Let's say that. Let's see. But yeah, that's the real challenge, is especially if you're an adult and you over 21 and you still trying to figure it out. It's a little cold here. I'm trying to just move it around. But yeah, if you're not already going to school to grasp the knowledge and to pass the knowledge and to take in and push out that knowledge, then you're game official in my book. Meaning, if you're doing something that you're passionate about and that you love, and that you are gaining information, but not only gaining information, being able to put out that information, I feel like you have a step up, especially if you were young. If you're older, you still got to step up too, because now you're able to enhance somebody else's situation. It could just be a normal day-to-day talk like this. That's it. Sometimes people just need that type of conversation to be able to develop more communication behind the scenes of what they're going through, But yeah, let me check some out real quick. I'm going to send something off. Give me 1 sec, y'all. Yeah, so oh yeah, we want to check how many universes. Here we go. Let's see. I'll show y'all what the AI came up with. So AI came up with right here. So currently, there is no definite answer to how many universes exist. The concept of a multiverse suggests that there could be multiple universes beyond our observable universe. But this remains a theoretical idea without direction, observational evidence. Some physicists support the notion of a multiverse based on various theories in cosmology, while others argue that we may never be able to confirm the existence of these other universes. The observable universe itself is vast, containing billions of galaxies, but it is only a fraction of what might exist beyond our perception. Hmm. Hmm. That's deep. That's pretty deep. That explains this right here. And that explains this. Let me show y'all. Let me get back to the sharing mode for that part. There we go. Okay, so now peep this. You see what I'm saying? That's crazy right there. That's crazy right there. Higher dimensional existence. So it just said there is billions of galaxies, which is only a fraction of what is visible. Meaning the invisible is vast more. So on the other side of the spectrum, that's why you even may hear certain rappers out there. I know Jadakiss is definitely one who said a few times his raps. We say, why cry at death? Why you should laugh at birth? But but it should be a total opposite. And I could be wrong. I could have got that lyrics wrong, but I know what he meant. He meant was pretty much you should be crying when you come in here, and we should be happy when you leave, because leaving here is your graduation. That's like a big ceremony. That's like, dude, he has ascended past this plane. That's a big step. But it's not celebrated too much in our culture. Our culture in certain cultures, it is looked upon as just very like just kind of pushed it aside. Like, yeah, death, it's over, lights out. Not as down in New Orleans, a little bit different. The atmosphere is a little bit more, You know, when a person passes and they do the ceremony, they walk in the streets and they dance with music playing loud, you know, real loud. Everybody dancing. Not too many people are crying, and you know, even if they are, there's more tears of joy. It's not, you know. So to me, I like that version better than the crying. And you technically should be crying when somebody comes in. You know, that's when you should be crying. Like, oh, bro, you got to do this all over again. Especially if you got to do it all over again. I mean, pretty much you got to do it all over again, no matter what. But you know what I mean. So that's the wild part. That's the wild card. So yeah. So that's that. But this right here, that's wild. That is wild. Let me see. Yeah. I want to get that other one now. Let me see if I can get that other one to myself real quick while we're waiting, and I can download it here. I'm gonna get we're gonna do a real quick interlude. Oh, I don't think I showed this. Did I show this? This one I was trying to show too. So Pete, you have when it's to open. Open that window. Right here. I want y'all people on that while you go through interlude. All right, we're back here, yo. We're back here. Just had a little quick interlude. Had to check on something, but I want y'all to peep that though. Y'all peep that? Look at that. Every place. That's why I say we're not African American. No way. First off, you can't be from two different continents. If that's the case, give me a free passport, okay? Make an airline just dedicated to us. Unfortunately, yes, you have to do that. Dedicate, not an airline. Let me take that back. Airplane company, okay? that can get us back and forth. And I don't even know if I would trust that. They might try to get rid of us. So you know what? Take that back. You just give us our repatriation. Sure. Pay us our money. You see that? We're universal. So universally, on this plane and Earth, if any one of them was taken care of, then it should be all replicated to all. And that's all I gotta say. So we're gonna end the show on that. That feels like a good end. And we're gonna come back with some more stuff and some more information, more topics, more convos coming up soon. And salute to those who watched. And yeah. But I want y'all to peep though. Look at Mexico. Check out Mexico real quick. Okay. Mexico looks real. We're right on the money. Just say that much. We're right on the money. And I mean all of it. Even all of it. Come on now. I mean, shit. You got that. That's on and popping. So it's good to see. It's good to see. Yeah. That's one of those. Yeah, hold on. I got one more thing. That's what I was working on. I was trying to figure out what I was trying to do. There it is. Ooh-wee. Yeah, one of them days. I tried it straight up feeling tired. It's one of those days. Boy, feeling real tired. Alright, here we go. Check this out. Alright, let me see. Bumble clot. On them rise clot. Where is the dot? Here we go, you know. There we go. About time. Let's download this, buddy. So it's all been about masculine and feminine. But back in the day, we represented feminine principles. I mean, to me, it made sense because it was balanced, at least at that time. Nowadays, it ain't balanced at all. It's all over the place. Ain't no balance. So right here, let me see. Let me share this. Let me double check. Make sure y'all can see what I see. Okay, so quick. Share again. This time. Share that. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Here we go. And let's share it one more time. You dig me? Come on. Where you at? 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 Okay. No. Feel me? I don't care. That's weird. That's not letting me grab it anymore. Made no sense. Let's see. Let's try it one more time. All right, well, we'll do the, there we go. Perfect. There we go. Figure it out. Figure out one way or another. Boom. So we got the Egyptian, this is 3000 BCE. Female was on top, male was at the bottom. Egyptian based on the feminine principles of nature, spirituality, and peace. The cross, male, based on the masculine principles of theocracy, politics, and war. There you go. That's the end of my show. We out here. Y'all have a good day. Oh my goodness. Some days be like that, yo, where you just tired. You even hit the end button and still slow.